Thanks.
Wanye Thomas.
Wanye Thomas here, student athlete at Georgia Institute of Technology. I have a question for you. What separates Wanye Thomas from others?
So there's so many things. I don't know if we have enough time. I think we've got about an hour meeting. In an hour I've got to go to a meeting. But short, tremendous athlete, tremendous person. Comes to work every single day. Role model, positive energy, elevates others. Really good player, but even a better person. Thank you. What's your name again?
Wanye Thomas. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Coach Collins. Tyler Crowder from Kicking It with Crowder podcast. Being a Columbus, Georgia native, playing high school football there, I know about the high school football in the state of Georgia. I know you do with the coaching. You've already alluded to it. What do you have to do to kind of get these kids to stay in the state of Georgia and come to Georgia Tech? And then I know you're going to get guys from Florida and Alabama and Tennessee, but the emphasis of the team, getting these guys from Georgia, how important is that to you?
It's huge. And if you've looked at what we've done since we've been here, recruiting elite high school players from the state of Georgia to come, recruiting guys from inside of 285 to stay home. Then you look at the guys that may have signed with somewhere else before we got here, and then have now come back home. I think those things are huge. A, getting the in-state talent to stay. B, if they do go somewhere and whatever experience they may have and miss being in the A, miss being back home, and having a program that's a destination spot, I think we've created that.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just excited to continue to build those relationships. And one of the things I'm looking forward to too, we've not been out on the road recruiting for 16 months. And we have a tremendous coaching staff that builds relationships, that goes out, evaluates at a really, really high level, and they're fun to be around. They appreciate and respect the high school coaches. I think it's well documented how deep and talented our running back room is. And they do a tremendous job playing together, contributing on special teams, and then running the ball and catching out of the backfield at a high level. So I just think the focus, the attention to detail, limiting pre-snap penalties, limiting things that hurt us post-snap and send us behind the chains, that attention to detail is going to help us make a natural progression in our development.
I had asked Geoff, earlier in the presser room about him being compared to Lamar Jackson.
Sure.
What do you have to say about that? Since your quarterback, who was a true freshman last year, getting that kind of comparison.
Yeah, I think anytime you have somebody as talented as Lamar, as talented as anybody that's in the league, there's only, 32 NFL quarterbacks? So if you're even in the same conversation with any of them, that's special. But I do agree with Geoff. I think his skill set is unique. I think it's special. My favorite thing about Geoff is not only he's a great player, he's a great talent and all those things, that's evident to everybody, he's even a better person. He's humble, he's respectful, he was voted a captain by his peers for the spring game, and that's uncommon. And it's not because he's out in front, look at me, it's because he's selfless, he's a great teammate, he works really, really hard. Everybody in that locker room knows how great he wants to be, and he works at it every single day, and that's uncommon and it's special.
How much about the beat about impressions about the play line? What are your initial thoughts on the future expansion?
My initial thoughts is I want to be back in the position like I was when I was a young coach that Georgia Tech is in that conversation. Whether it be 4 teams, whether it be 12 teams, I want Georgia Tech to be positioned that we're a part of that narrative, we're a part of that conversation. That whole 4-12, there's other people that can figure that piece out. My job every single day is to elevate this program, develop, recruit, get our guys positioned so they can take that next step to be in this conversation.
How hard is it?
I'm excited the way they work, the way we went through the offseason, the things that we were very critical about throughout the season, the things that we did the deep dive in late December, early January on everything that we need to improve on. Penalties, pre-snap and post-snap, turnovers, limiting them and creating them, and then finishing drives in the red zone are some of the key play pieces. The 14 new guys that we brought in January, again, based on the guys that we have returning, which is a lot, then them coming, if we can get the attention to detail piece, the focus piece, not not having critical errors, especially in critical times, we got a chance to be pretty good.
In year 3, does your messaging to players change because the hope and expectation and the need to win more games is there?
So everything, Jeff, is an incremental development, incremental progression of how we develop. First, we had to play with really high energy. We had to play with great effort, right? That was year 1. That was the whole focus. The second year, during a COVID year, being gritty, being tough, finding a way to fight through and handle all the adversity that's being thrown around everybody in college football. But now the brand is set, the culture is set, recruiting is at a high level, it is set. Now it's time to play really good football. And all we've talked about in our whole organization since January is what's important now for us to be in a position that we can win. And that's the complete focus. Branding, the marketing, the social media, all of those mechanisms are in place and they kind of can roll. Now we can focus on playing really good ball, having tremendous attention to detail, play together, be focused, and be ready to go.
In a sense, as a coach, because that need to win or hope to win is closer, do you turn the screws more?
I try to be me. There's a high attention to detail. There's a high elevated every single thing that we do in the weight room, in the meeting rooms, all of those things.
Coming into your second year, after last year not really having the off-season program, not being able to have the summer practices, how is that helping this year, going in, getting some time in with your teammates and things like that? And what do you look to improve on the most going into your sophomore year?
The biggest thing I want to improve on is just being consistent, getting my completion percentage 60 or higher, and just going out there and having fun doing what I do. I didn't feel like I did that enough last year. I felt like I was too just in my own head last year, so I just want to go out there this year and play loose, have fun, and just go out there and be me.
In those 10 games you started last year, that was valuable for you, not only your growth, but this football team moving forward. So, what is Geoff Collins, trying to change the culture? I hear that a lot with the Georgia Tech program, really trying to change the culture. That's every day, not only what you do on the football field, but what you do in the classroom as well. So how has Geoff Collins, really tried to help you, be a better football player?
He's definitely helped the whole team in a tremendous way. I feel like the culture right now is set to where it needs to be. I know on the academic side, right now our team average GPA is higher than any other team. So I feel like that's a big improvement for us, and just bringing that energy like he always does and motivating us as he always does and caring for us.
Thank you.
There's been a lot of talk surrounding the possible switch to the 12-team playoff. As a player, have y'all talked about it as a team, and what are your thoughts on that?
We haven't talked about it, but I feel like that's a great opportunity for teams to see how far they can go and just get them a greater opportunity at winning the championship.
You guys exist, your campus exists in the middle of some of the tough
Right in the middle. Right in the middle.
I mean, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida. Is that difficult to be where you are?
I mean, it's busy. There's a lot of traffic wherever we go. So, but yeah, it's pretty. Everything is right there though. Like it's pretty close to everything. So as long as you.
So you're going into your third year now as a starter. So what does that mean? From when you first started as a sophomore to now, what that growth that you've made. What is that? How are you going to be able to use that going forward? And then being looked at as one of the leaders on that defense.
Right. It's like honestly good being old again and being starting for a year that I have. I just literally look back at the first day I started against Clemson. I remember it in 2019 having chills.
Yeah.
And
it was going by so fast.
Right,
Every play was going by. You were like, what's going on?
Right. Setting the tone for that, and now I just look back at things that I messed up on to help better me in the future. And honestly, I don't take none of this for granted. It's just a blessing.
Yeah. And the game's probably slowed down so much now for you. The game, from when you said your first game versus Clemson to now, the game has really slowed down, and that makes you play faster, and just you being able to make decisions smarter on the field. So, what do you like playing more? Do you like going up and tackling more? Or do you like covering these wide receivers? What do you like doing more?
I like to show all of it.
I got you.
I can
All around
come down
safety.
and cover you, and I can get in the box. A lot of people can't do that. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? A lot of people can't cover a slot and then come down and play in the box and be in the run fit. So I feel like that's something I'm good at, and that's something that separates me.
Yeah. So this year you're listed right. You're still listed as a junior, even though it's technically your senior year because of last year. So
It's gonna transfer.
okay. I just want to make sure because I saw that on the website. So this is it. This is your last go at Georgia Tech.
I can come back for another year because of the COVID year.
Yep.
But
We'll see how this year goes.
Yeah, I want to see how this year goes, and that's gonna put the mark on it if I even come back.
Yeah. And my last thing before I get out of here, you talk to all the players about Geoff Collins. You know, everyone lights up about him. Just the respect they have for this guy, what he's able to do on the recruiting trail. How was he? You know, he didn't recruit you, but how was he as a coach? You know, you could have left. You could have easily left and left Georgia Tech. Why did you come back, and why did you decide, to stay with Geoff Collins?
I knew the first day Coach Collins walked into the meeting room, I knew he was about business, and I knew he was about his players.
Yeah.
I could hear it in his voice, and everything he was preaching, trying to turn this culture around,
Yep.
turn it into a winning culture. Literally, Coach Collins practices what he preaches.
Yeah.
And for him to be consistent with what he says and be consistent with caring for his players, I just knew he was going to be the right dude, and I knew I wanted to stay.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Good luck this season, brother. Hey, I'm Tyler Crowder from the Kicking with Crowder podcast. Basically, it's your first year at the Georgia Tech program. How much did it mean to you to be selected by Coach Collins to come represent Georgia Tech at ACC Media Day? And then why Georgia Tech? When you entered the transfer portal, what sold you on Georgia Tech, and Geoff Collins?
It's a great honor to be picked to come to the ACC to represent the school. I just want to represent the school and program and everybody well.
Yeah.
I'm at a lost word, really. I mean, it's a great honor, and I just thank them enough, and I just try to put my best foot forward every day, and just even here, try to put my best foot for the school and everything. And Georgia Tech, my interport is just the culture, culture and everything. Talking to Coach Collins, talking to the players here, talking to the coaches, it's just everybody was aligned. Everybody was aligned on what we wanted to do, and I just wanted to be a part of that. And I wanted to get in there, go to work with those guys, and at the end of the day, I wanted to be celebrating with those guys on our success with them. So it's just really the culture that brought me here.
And you hear every single player here talk about the culture. So it's not just one, two. It's every single guy on this football program. It seems like they're talking about the culture. So Geoff Collins is really trying to change that culture and get it to where people want to go to Georgia Tech to win football games, not just go to school to a great college. So keep doing great, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
I was getting back to my to myself, my physical and everything, and I wasn't cleared yet, but I was clear. I could work out. I could do little workouts and stuff. And I remember being outside at practice with my high school team, and I was just so frustrated that I couldn't practice. They were scrimmage or something, and I was just mad that I couldn't be a part of that with my friends. I just felt like I couldn't. I felt a piece of me was missing, really, honestly. And that was the most. I went home. I cried to my mom. And did all of that. But I feel like that was the most frustrating, just not being able to do what I knew I could do.
Well, and I think it might be particularly frustrating for someone who is so comfortable with his body and as an athlete to not be able to do that. You come back. One last thing. You come back and see how did it change? I guess your perspective on the game.
It changed my perspective a lot. Just the simple fact of I don't take a day for granted. Play, snap, drill, just because I know what it feels like at times to not be able to do the little things, not even be able to go to walkthroughs or stuff like that. So just everything about this whole experience, the atmosphere of football and everything, I just try not to take it for granted and just keep moving forward and do everything, put my best foot forward in everything.
So with all of that, I yield the floor.
You say that you couldn't play, and you thank God that you could play.